Good evening. At the very outset, let me thank the people in charge of Malankara Syrian Catholic Church and the top authority leadership. I thank you for inviting me to this. At the beginning, let me tell you that one quote or a statement, a statement that, let me tell you, it's about, you must have heard in 1940s and 50s, a lady, a philanthropist, a humanitarian. She also was an educator, she was a teacher, Mary McLeod Bethune. She said, the character, the worth of a race, you can value it and even evaluate, or you can assess by just knowing the character, the worth of its womanhood. Have you got the meaning of that? Let me repeat that. Oru samuhathinte, allengal oru koottathinte, oru value, oru villa, oru worth, ningalku edukkanamengal, she said, you have to assess the worth of its womanhood, of women at large. That is, if I take the finest example, ഒരു കുടുംബത്തിന്റെ വില നിങ്ങൾ എങ്ങനെയാണ് കണക്കാക്കുന്നതെങ്കിൽ വാല്യൂ നിങ്ങൾ എടുക്കുകയാണെങ്കിൽ in her being an educator, and she was in the advisory committee to the US president as well. So I'm not ഒരു സാധാരണ ഒരു സ്ത്രീ അല്ല അത് പറഞ്ഞത്, ഒരു രാഷ്ട്രത്തിന്റെ, ഒരു സമൂഹത്തിന്റെ ഉന്നതമായിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു തട്ടിൽ നിൽക്കുന്ന ഒരു സ്ത്രീ എന്നാ പറഞ്ഞത്. ഒരു കുടുംബത്തിന്റെ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഒരു കൂട്ടത്തിന്റെ, ഒരു സമൂഹത്തിന്റെ വില നിങ്ങൾക്ക് കണക്കാക്കണമെങ്കിൽ ആ സമൂഹത്തിന്റെ സ്ത്രീകളുടെ വില എന്താണ്, അവരുടെ ക്യാരക്ടർ എന്താണെന്ന് നിങ്ങൾ അസസ് ചെയ്യുവാണെങ്കിൽ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് അറിയാൻ പറ്റും ആ സമൂഹത്തിന്റെ വില എന്താണ്, ആ ഹ്യൂമൻ റേസിന്റെ വില എന്താണെന്ന് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് അറിയാൻ പറ്റും. That made me to think a lot, being a woman, being a mother, being a teacher, being a humanitarian work as a philanthropist as well. I do it in very small steps, but then still that made me to think, that made me to ask myself that എൻ്റെ കുടുംബത്തിൻ്റെ വില അറിയണമെങ്കിൽ എന്നെ ദൈവം അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഈ സമൂഹം എന്നെ ഒന്ന് ടെസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്താൽ what will be the value that is going to get, ഏത് തരത്തിലുള്ള വിലയായിരിക്കും അവർക്ക് എന്നെ ടെസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ കിട്ടുന്നത്, ആ വിലയായിരിക്കും എൻ്റെ കുടുംബത്തിൻ്റെ വിലയും. You are able to follow me? You got what I said? Yeah. So ആ ഒരു തോട്ടിൽ നിന്ന് just let me begin that I always wonder, നമ്മൾ എപ്പോഴും ചോദിക്കും, who is a woman? How we can define womanhood. If you really look at, and if you sit and write down, or if I ask you to, or if you ask me to define what is womanhood, it would be very difficult, because നമുക്ക് തന്നെ ചിലപ്പോൾ പലപ്പോഴും നമ്മൾ ആരാന്ന് ചോദിച്ചു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ഒരു സ്ത്രീയെ ഡിഫൈൻ ചെയ്യാൻ ഭയങ്കര ഡിഫിക്കൽട്ട്. Don't you think so? It's very difficult. Who is a woman? Because different roles that we see. You can ask, what do you do? And you can say that I'm a teacher, or I'm a mother, I'm a doctor, or I'm a interior designer, or whatever. But then that is your role. But then being a woman, or a streak, so you can't simply say that she, or this is what a woman is. You can say that being, or a stree and the experience. Is it not? It's an experience. It's different level. Knowingly or unknowingly, you impact so many people. In the family, in the workplace, right from your birth, you impact so many people. You impact your parents, you impact your husband, you impact your children, you impact everyone. That we don't notice it, but we do. നമ്മൾ അറിയാതെ നമ്മൾ ഒത്തിരി പേരെ സ്വാധീനിക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. ചിലപ്പോൾ നമ്മുടെ വാക്കുകൾ കൊണ്ടായിരിക്കും, ചിലപ്പോൾ just the presence. Have you noticed that since some homes when you go, അവിടെ ഒരു വലിയൊരു grandmother ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ, ഒരു വലിയമ്മച്ചി ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ആ വീട്ടിൽ, in her presence you'll be very careful of what you speak, don't you? നിങ്ങൾ കുറച്ച് സൂക്ഷിക്കുമല്ലോ നമ്മൾ സംസാരിക്കേണ്ടേ. It's not that she told you that വലിയമ്മച്ചി നമ്മളോട് പറഞ്ഞില്ല എൻ്റെ മുമ്പിൽ നിങ്ങൾ ഇതൊക്കെ സംസാരിക്കാൻ പാടുള്ളൂ, but then you are still, you know that her presence in that place, just like that, a presence of a woman impacts a lot of things. That's what I said, that you influence. And I was asking myself, who is a woman and what is a woman? The definition of it. And if you ask the world around you, നിങ്ങളുടെ ചുറ്റുമുള്ള നിങ്ങളുടെ ലോകത്തോട് നിങ്ങൾ ചോദിക്കുവാണെങ്കിൽ സ്ത്രീ എന്ന് ചോദിച്ചാൽ അവർ പലതും പറയും. The literature, the secular world, the movie, the industry, they portray women as something else. You know that very well. Right? അവരെങ്ങനെയാണ് സ്ത്രീകളെ ചിത്രീകരിക്കുന്നത്? They say that it's a symbol of sentimentalism, or they say that it's an object of temptation. That's the most often word they use. And what do you say? The church or the society, the world around you, you yourself, how do you define yourself? Who you are? Have you ever asked yourself, who am I? Who am I within? Then I ask myself when I started reading the Bible as well, what does the Bible say? The world says something else. If you read from the ancient world, it says something else. If you read see, the Roman world taught us, the Roman society നമ്മളെ പഠിപ്പിച്ചു ഗവൺമെന്റ് എന്തായിരിക്കണം, ഒരു രാഷ്ട്രം എങ്ങനെയായിരിക്കണം, എല്ലാവർക്കും equality ഉണ്ടാകും. Then you must have heard of it. You see, for the people, by the people, of the people. You heard it and you learned it at school as well. But even the same Roman world, the very Roman world, അവിടെയും സ്ത്രീകൾക്ക് ഒരു worth ഇല്ല, ഒരു value ഇല്ല. Okay? The very world that told the world that there should be equality, there should be, let the people talk about it. When they said that, സമൂഹം സംസാരിക്കട്ടെ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞപ്പോഴും അവിടെ സ്ത്രീ സംസാരിച്ചില്ല. In the very Roman world. So from the ancient world onwards, and even the now as well, you don't hear her so literally, but then still you can experience her so much. But then different concepts from the ancient world say that women is a secondary citizen, or a random standard entity, or a being, and literature said something else, and the modern world was something else. But then what do you say? And what God would say looking at us? And I was just reading in the book of Genesis account. It says that while God was creating Adam and Eve, and he said, if you look at that, the beauty of it is, he said, Purushan eganayirikkunnathu nannalla. That was a statement said by God. Right. Then he said, I will make a suitable helper for him. Oh, we thought, my goodness, suitable helper. And we got the word absolutely in a different meaning. Because helper, ആ വാക്കിന്റെ അർത്ഥം എന്തോ, ഹെൽപ്പർ എന്ന് പറയുമ്പോൾ നമ്മുടെ മനസ്സിൽ നമ്മുടെ വീട്ടിൽ ഹെൽപ്പ് ചെയ്യാൻ വരുന്ന ഒരു മെയ്ഡ് ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ we think that she's a helper. And unfortunately or fortunately, the world of men, പുരുഷന്മാരും സ്ത്രീകളും ഒരുപോലെ ചിന്തിച്ചു suitable help എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ whatever he cannot do, cooking അറിയത്തില്ല, washing അറിയത്തില്ല, so we just God made and ഒരു മെയ്ഡിന് ദൈവം ഉണ്ടാക്കി കൊടുത്തു പുരുഷന്മാർക്ക് പാത്രം കഴുകാനും. I said, what does that mean? No. The word meaning, the suitable in the വാക്കിന്റെ അർത്ഥം well fitted for a purpose. Okay? Well fitted for a purpose. ഒരു ലക്ഷ്യത്തിന് വേണ്ടി ദൈവം സൃഷ്ടിച്ച ഒരു വ്യക്തിയാണ് സ്ത്രീ. Then helper is the same word. Helper, ദൈവം എൻ്റെ സഹായം എന്ന് ഇസ്രായേൽ പറഞ്ഞപ്പോൾ there also the Hebrew word, the same word is used. ദൈവം എൻ്റെ സഹായവും എൻ്റെ രക്ഷയുമാകുന്നു എന്ന് psalmist സങ്കീർത്തനക്കാരൻ പറഞ്ഞപ്പോഴും the same the Hebrew word he used. ദൈവം എൻ്റെ സഹായം എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞ അതേ ഹെൽപ്പർ എന്ന വേർഡ് തന്നെയാണ് ദൈവം ഉപയോഗിച്ചത്. ഞാൻ ഒരു സ്യൂട്ടബിൾ ഹെൽപ്പറിനെയാണ് പുരുഷന് വേണ്ടി സൃഷ്ടിക്കുന്നത് ദൈവം പറഞ്ഞപ്പോൾ അതാണ് ദൈവത്തിന്റെ മനസ്സിലെ അർത്ഥം. So what is the meaning of that word? You have got a great purpose, woman. I have got a great purpose. I have a well-fitted purpose in my life. So when I think of a life partner, so think about yourself as differently. See, world has got something to say, right? The world of literature, The world outside, the secular world, സ്ത്രീ എന്ന് പറയുമ്പോൾ കിട്ടുന്ന ഒരു പിക്ചറും ആക്ച്വലി ദൈവം സൃഷ്ടിച്ചപ്പോൾ ദൈവത്തിൻ്റെ മനസ്സിലുണ്ടായിരുന്ന ചിന്തയും ദിസ് ഇസ് എൻറ്റയർലി ഡിഫറെൻറ്റ്. നമുക്ക് നമ്മളോട് ചോദിക്കേണ്ടത് ഇറ്റ്സ് നോട്ട് ദാറ്റ് what I need to be is not what somebody else, the world expects me to be. I need to find out, first of all, the purpose of my life. Being a woman, what I'm supposed to do, what I should be doing. God said, see, if you read the creation account, Srishti's account, chapters, it says that ദൈവം എല്ലാം സൃഷ്ടിച്ചു എന്ന് ദൈവം പറഞ്ഞു. It is good. If you read Genesis chapter 1, see, ആദിയിൽ ദൈവം ആകാശവും ഭൂമിയും സൃഷ്ടിച്ചു. ദൈവം നല്ലതെന്ന് കണ്ടു. Everything. At each phase he said, he made the heavens and the earth, he made light and darkness, he made birds and animals, and at the end he said, it is good. Then he created Adam and Eve, and he said it is good. And he same life, he created you, and God said it is good. And he created me, and God said she's good. He created each of you. നിങ്ങളെ ഓരോരുത്തരെയും സൃഷ്ടിച്ചപ്പോഴും ദൈവം അത് തന്നെ പറഞ്ഞു, she's good. But then why don't we say, look at us and say that I'm good? When you stand before the mirror, നിങ്ങളുടെ കണ്ണാടിയുടെ മുമ്പിൽ നിൽക്കുമ്പോൾ നിങ്ങൾ എന്തോ പറഞ്ഞു, oh my gosh, the wrinkles on my face, the grey hair, the dull, the wrong option I got as my husband. I should have got married to somebody else. When you look at the pictures, right? See, it's not the who. See, I remember in that context, I remember so many years back, a friend of mine from Manipur, she called me and she said, can you pray for me that I will get the right person as my husband? I said, you will never get a right person. And she didn't say, she just kept quiet for a while. And I said, you have to make a decision to be the right person for your partner with whom you are going to stay or live with. You cannot expect, നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഒരിക്കലും അല്ലെങ്കിൽ എനിക്ക് ഒരിക്കലും ഒരു പെർഫെക്റ്റ് ലൈഫ് പാർട്ട്ണറെ എക്സ്പെക്ട് ചെയ്യാൻ ഒക്കത്തില്ല. I have to make a decision. ഞാൻ ഒരു തീരുമാനം എടുക്കണം. I will be the right person for him. And he also has to make a decision that I will be the right person. What if he doesn't? Let God deal with that. Today is Women's Day, not Men's Day, so I will not talk about that. I will talk about us. So I will make a decision that I will be the right person. That's the purpose of our creation. Because see, unless and until you begin with God, we will not reach anywhere. See, I hope that on one thing we all will agree. We believe in God, isn't it? And God has created us. And God has created us with that very purpose. Well fitted for a purpose. So it's not that suddenly He has created you. It was not by accident. God has created you with a purpose. But then each role, and all of us have different roles in our lives, right? And we have finest examples in the Bible itself how to live, right? And the first thing that comes to my mind when I look at a woman, or when I look at myself, or when I look at each of you, the first aspect, the first phase is that how I can be a godly woman, because it all starts with Him, right? He said, the finest example is that mother of Jesus. I heard from my mom, and mommy and the thing that made me strong is each time when I think about the mother of Jesus, that the strength, the spiritual strength, the strong character, perseverance, patience, and the one aspect she talks about that she kept everything within, right? And that beauty, always I begin with that, the beauty of, I see it in Mother Mary, that strength of character, the prayerful life, the time she took to wait upon the Lord, to receive the birth. And I begin with that. And I ask you that, how much time you pray? Every day we take that. See, I'm also a working woman, including the Fridays I work sometimes. So my question is that, let me ask you, how much time do you pray? And on a daily basis, how much time do we spend to read the Word? എത്ര സമയം നമ്മൾ ബൈബിൾ വായിക്കാൻ എടുക്കുന്നുണ്ട്? We get a lot of time to check our WhatsApp messages. Right? Sometimes we say that, see, I'm a working woman, and jolly, I need to cook, I need to do a lot of things. But see, 24/7, all of us get. I don't get 25 because I have a lot of work to do. We all get 24 hours a day, and it's our choice, it's on us. We have to make a point that I will set apart time to pray and meditate the Word. When I say ദൈവ വചനം ധ്യാനിക്കണം എന്ന് പറയുമ്പോൾ I didn't mean that. ഞാൻ ഉദ്ദേശിക്കുന്നത് നിങ്ങൾ hours in the Bible വായിച്ച് then just sleep off. Not that. Saying that, take one verse, read it, think on it. Or else what you can do is, when you see, one thing, what I do is, when I cook in the kitchen, what I do is I play the audio Bible. It is available, right? Audio Bible is available. You can listen to. Otherwise, you know what happens? You will unnecessary. Then, as you cook food, you cook so many other things within you as well. Then as the husband comes home, he will get along with the food, all the rubbish thought that you have cooked in your mind. Is it not right? Or else you will unnecessarily worry about what mother-in-law said on the phone last time when she spoke to her, and what father-in-law said, sister-in-law said, whoever, all the laws, whatever they said. You will think about that, and you will rethink about it, and you will add version, you will add colors to that. Unnecessary thought. And you become a sick person as well. And you don't cook food as well and that well because you're in some different mood, and you think about. That's why the best possible thing you can do is listen to audio Bible, or listen to some sermons, or listen to some good music, good songs, sing. That's where, in this generation, do you want to become you want to be just like mother of Mary, Jesus, mother of Jesus. You want to become like her in your prayer life? Do that. Start working on that. Don't set unattainable goals. Goals that I'll be praying for hours and hours. No, you won't even pray for a minute. So I'm saying that goals set to you. Don't set unattainable goals. We tell our students also. See, my students are writing the board exam. I tell them that don't set unattainable goals. Too ambitious goals don't set today. So that's why I have begun my talk with that. When I look at a woman, when I look at myself, the first question I ask myself that, Lord, how can I become like your mother? How can I become so patient and so strong in character? There is so much to contain within, right? There is so much to contain within. Oru strike, oru bhariyakku, oru different roles nammal cheyumbol, there is so much. You have to keep it within. Not to share with everyone. Because എനിക്ക് തോന്നുന്നു ചിലപ്പോൾ social media ഇത്രയും strong ആയതുകൊണ്ടായിരിക്കും, whatever happens, you just put it on timeline. അതുകൊണ്ടായിരിക്കും whatever we come to know, we speak about it. No, you have to keep it here within. Don't say or don't talk always. Think before you talk. See, my husband is doing the business in charge. So what I do is, if I need to say something, if it's quite a serious decision we have to do, what I do is, I do not know whether he's going to agree with me or not. So what I do is, the first thing what I do is, first I pray. I said, Lord, I'm going to talk to him about this and this and this. And if you think that I should tell him, help me Otherwise, let me forget about it. I don't want to. I don't want to do something you don't want me to do, because it's very difficult to understand men as well. Don't you think so? It's very difficult to understand men. And so I said, and also it's not my purpose to understand a man as well. God has created me. God has created you. We have read in the Genesis account, it said that God has created. He said, let me create a suitable helper. Again, I said, I have reminded you, what is the meaning of a helper? So, helper means it's not the one who cleans the dishes or cooking the food. That is also a noble work. It's not something bad. Do it, it's a good work. But then that is not the purpose of your life. Purposes of your life is to find out, what is the purpose of my life? To find out, begin with a prayer life, a prayerful life. You have to begin and meditate on the Word as well. I have found strength in the Lord as I read. And the second thing, I always think that we said, as a woman, first of all, you're a person, you're an individual. See, we have begun with a quote of Mary Bethune. Remember? See, number one, in that light I have begun. Right. In the light of that thought, we have begun our thought. That ഒരു കൂട്ടത്തിന്റെ, ഒരു സമൂഹത്തിന്റെ, ഒരു കുടുംബത്തിന്റെ word value നിങ്ങൾ എടുക്കുന്നത് ഒരു സ്ത്രീയുടെ മേലെ കണക്കാക്കിയിട്ട്. This is a statement, not my statement, a statement from the secular world. An educated philanthropist, humanitarian, an advisory vote to the US president, she said in 1950s and 40s, she said that, do you want to know about the worth of this country? Come and assess, take the value of our women. How many of us, come and test me? Come and take the value of my character, and you will know the value of my family. You will know the value of my society as well. നമ്മുടെ ഇപ്പോഴത്തെ ജനറേഷൻ, ഇപ്പോഴത്തെ തലമുറ, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഇപ്പോഴത്തെ സമൂഹത്തെ നമ്മൾ നോക്കുവാണെങ്കിൽ നമുക്ക് തോന്നുന്നു ധൈര്യമായിട്ട് നമുക്ക് പറയാൻ കഴിയും, just come and test our women and you will know the worth of our society. You should be able to be at a level where you can challenge the world. You should be able to challenge the world by saying that നമ്മുടെ കുഞ്ഞുങ്ങളെ വളർത്തുമ്പോഴും നമുക്ക് അങ്ങനത്തെ കുറെ values അവരുടെ ഉള്ളിൽ ഇടാൻ കഴിയണം. That once, if you are going to be tested, that value, you should be, the world should know that this is the value of the mother at home or the woman at home. See, to be so effective, സമൂഹത്തെയോ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ വ്യക്തികളെയോ നിങ്ങളുടെ കുടുംബത്തിലെ കുഞ്ഞുങ്ങളെ സ്വാധീനിക്കാൻ ഒരു ബയോളജിക്കൽ മദർ ആകണമെന്നില്ല. ഒരു കുഞ്ഞിനെ പ്രസവിച്ചാൽ മാത്രമേ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് സ്വാധീനിക്കാൻ കഴിയുന്നില്ല. Even other than that, അല്ലാതെ തന്നെ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് സ്വാധീനിക്കാൻ കഴിയും. നിങ്ങളുടെ കുടുംബത്തിലെ, നിങ്ങളുടെ സമൂഹത്തിലെ, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ a church if you take it, a group if you take it, you can impact them. നിങ്ങൾക്ക് സ്വാധീനിക്കുവാൻ കഴിയും, but by finding out the purpose of your life. Because if you do not know, നിങ്ങൾക്കോ എനിക്കോ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ നമുക്ക് ആ meaning, ആ purpose എന്താണെന്ന് അറിയാൻ കഴിഞ്ഞില്ലെങ്കിൽ, it will be very difficult to know what you are going to do next. And the next aspect I always love is if you read Proverbs chapter 31, book of Proverbs, last chapter, the last verses. It's so beautifully described the noble characters of a wife. നിങ്ങൾക്ക് എങ്ങനെയാണ്, who should be, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഒരു description വേണമെങ്കിൽ, ഒരു list of who is who and what is what a wife എന്ന് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് അറിയണമെങ്കിൽ ആ ബൈബിൾ വായിച്ചാൽ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് മനസ്സിലാക്കാൻ പറ്റും. സദൃശവാക്യം 31-ാമത്തെ അധ്യായം താഴോട്ട് വരുന്ന വാക്യങ്ങൾ, who will find a noble wife. If you impact, even your silence presence in the family impacts. So we don't need to be heard at home. Even in that case, it's fine. നമ്മളോട് അഭിപ്രായം ചോദിച്ചില്ലെങ്കിലും നിങ്ങളുടെ സ്വാധീനം, നിങ്ങളുടെ പ്രാർത്ഥനയുടെ ജീവിതവും നിങ്ങളുടെ ദൈവവചന അടിസ്ഥാനത്തിലുള്ള ജീവിതം will help you, make you strong. Even your presence itself will change the situations at home. You don't need to talk about, even in the name of prayer request. Usually that's what we do, right? We ask each other that, "Nyam prarthicholam, you can tell me whatever you go through in your family." And what happens if you're going to share all the internal matters that you have at home to somebody else, saying that it's a prayer request? "Please pray for my husband, he's such a dull, vulgar person." If you're going to say that, is that a prayer request actually? No, right? It's not a prayer request. A prayerful woman, a strong woman of character, will not talk or make negative comment about her husband or children or anyone at home. If you have a prayer request, you will know how to frame it well, gracefully. See, when you cook, when you taste it, especially I'm a bad cook, so what I do is, I'll just add something else, like, either milk, coconut milk or something I will add so that I can make it. Oh my gosh, so no one will know that. So it's just like that. When you talk about your family members to somebody else, when you talk about your husband, നിങ്ങളുടെ ഹസ്ബൻഡിനെ കുറിച്ച് നിങ്ങൾ മറ്റുള്ളവരോട് സംസാരിക്കുമ്പോൾ, നിങ്ങളുടെ കുഞ്ഞുങ്ങളെ കുറിച്ച് മറ്റുള്ളവരോട് സംസാരിക്കുമ്പോൾ, even in the name of a prayer request, or prayer request പോലെ, even in that as well, don't talk negative about them. Because your words, you're a mother, you're a woman, your words are so important. So make sure that you will speak positive about them. Make sure that whatever you have got to say other than that, then how you will handle the situations that are out of your hands. There are strange situations in families as well. How you can handle such situations. Look at Mother of Jesus. Look at Ruth. Look at the godly women in the Bible. Read it. That's why at the very outset of the talk I said that make a point that you will read the Bible. Make a point that you will pray as well. And for that, you have to manage your time as well. Proper time management you have to maintain, because it's up to you. It's up to you. You have to prioritize. You have to prioritize every day. Because see, you get time to chat, you get time to watch that wonderful TV show that you would like to watch, isn't it? You don't want to miss that. But then why is that we don't find time to spend with our children? See, why is that being a mother, you're not able to influence your children? They don't like what we talk. See, one thing you have to understand, that youngsters go to a place when they think that I love that and that loves me. They go after that. I have seen in the years. While I was teaching in a classroom, I'm an English teacher, I teach poetry. ഞാനൊരു poem പഠിപ്പിക്കുമായിരുന്നു. So the first line was, it was about a relationship between a father and a son. It says there is a gap that the father and the son, they are not able to find a solution, and they are struggling, both of them. I just asked my students what you would do if you were in that position, what you would do. And one of my students, sitting at the back, she said, "Ma'am, what to say and where to start?" And see, I don't know whether it's one of your children, they come to school and they talk to us. And she said that, honestly speaking, I feel as strangers when I sit with my parents. Our children say. They said that. They told me that. ഞാൻ എൻ്റെ പാരൻസിൻ്റെ കൂടെ കഴിക്കാനിരിക്കുമ്പോൾ, ഡൈനിങ് ടേബിളിലിരിക്കുമ്പോൾ, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഡിസ്കസ് ചെയ്യാനിരിക്കുമ്പോൾ, the one thing that I feel is that they are strangers. There is, come on, I'm talking to someone whom I do not know. And somebody told me that my parents, while I was very small, ഞാൻ വളരെ ചെറുതായിരിക്കുമ്പോൾ എന്നെ baby sitting വിട്ടിട്ട്, both of them go to work. I wanted them so badly, but then they just left me at the nanny and they just went. And so I asked her, why do you think she did so? Yeah, she's working, she's earning. For me, But then for me, what matters is their presence with me. And it happened, and she said, yeah, it happened at that moment while I was small. I was put in a nanny center and they were taking care of me. And so I don't have any complaint now. It's fine. They were working for me. Now I'm 16 years old. I'm 17 years old. Now they are just after me. They want to know what I do. They want to know what I say. They want to know with whom I talk. I don't want that to happen. See, she said that while I was, don't you think that it is right as well if you think in their shoes? To some extent, don't you think that it is correct? While they were very small, we left them. And we don't have any deep conversation with them. We say that we are working, we are tired, we do things at home, workplace, the serials and the WhatsApp chats and the Facebook, social media, etc. Then after that, we don't get time to spend with our family. We don't get spend time with our children. Then we complain that pray for my children. And they say that my children don't understand me. Have you ever tried to understand them? Have you ever asked them that have you ever taken any step to make them understand how much you love them? So if not, they will go after things or persons. They think that he or she likes him or her. They will go after the things. Because they think that nothing at home that can attract me. But then something is there outside my home that he or she has time to listen to me. He or she has time to look at me and talk to me and say that, appreciate me. But then you don't get time to appreciate your child. You think that she's my child. No, come on. She is not in your generation. Their thought is absolutely different, because I can even share with such things those girls discuss with me, because I respect the presence of men here as well. So I can't, because that's why I said that. Why don't we spend time with them? Why don't we talk to them? Begin with God. Begin with meditating on the Word. God will direct you. You don't need to run after the counselors, and you will waste your money and your time. So you sit with your family, talk to your husband, speak to God, read the Word. And God will direct your path. That's what we read throughout the Bible. That's what I read. That's what I read, and that's what God helped me. That's what my mothers told me that. So it's there, everything in the Bible. It's there, everything in the Bible. Being a teacher, being a social worker. I'm a writer as well. I write in the magazines. But still I say that I strongly believe in this word. And this is the manifesto, the manual that I have for life. This is the map that I have for life. So this day, when I say that we celebrate Women's Day, ask yourself what kind of a woman you are. Ask yourself. What do you lack at home? What do you lack at home? Don't talk about it, fill it. Don't talk to somebody else that, oh, my husband is this, my child is this, my in-law is this. No, if you see that lack, ഏത് പാത്രമാണോ ഒഴിഞ്ഞിരിക്കുന്നത്, ആ പാത്രം ഒഴിഞ്ഞതാണെന്ന് നിങ്ങൾ മറ്റുള്ളവരോട് പറയണ്ട. Fill it. Fill it with what you would love to be filled it with. See, you don't expect somebody else to come and fill the bowls or the vessels, right? What you will do, if a vessel, what you want it, you want that to be filled with water, you will fill it with water, right? You don't expect the neighbor to do it. You don't expect the counselor in the clinic to do it. If you want that one bowl to fill with some fruits, you will do it, right? You don't knock at the neighbor's door and say that, can you come and help me to fill my bowl? You do it. It's just like that. If you think that your husband is like an empty vessel, he's not a productive husband at all, he's not effective financially or anything at all, try to fill that emptiness. But to fill that emptiness, you should be filled, right? With what you will fill it. If I need to fill something I should have my hands full of things, right? എൻ്റെ കാര്യങ്ങൾ നിറഞ്ഞതാണെങ്കിൽ മാത്രമേ എനിക്ക് മറ്റൊരാളുടെ ഒഴിഞ്ഞ പാത്രത്തെ നിറയ്ക്കാൻ പറ്റത്തുള്ളൂ. Is it not? So that's why I said that begin with God. If you are empty, fill yourself with the Word and God's presence, and He will fill it with you, because God has created you with that purpose. Fill that emptiness. Friends and sisters or women, I just want to tell you with honest, and with clear emotion towards you, full of love, that what we lack is love. In our families, in every relationship, because that's what I see in my students when they come and they talk to me, when they run after things that looks like waterless clouds. And I ask myself, why is that the girls behave? I teach girls, so often I interact with them. So I said that, why is it so? The weird, strange things they ask me and say that, ma'am, why is it not right? And once she asked, I said, why do you even think in that way? Somebody asked me, let me see, I'm a mother, all of your others, somebody asked me that one girl came to me and said that, see, ma'am, you write poetry and you appreciate poetry, just like that. Why can't I take a photo, a nude picture and enjoy it? And I said that, but then why do you think in that way? They were talking about pornographic pictures, because I allow my students to speak openly. Do you know why they come and talk to us all these things? Because they don't have anything at home, anybody at home to talk. They say that, oh my God, you appreciate a poetry, I appreciate a pornographic picture. So I said, it's about you. And he said, one more question she asked that I will not tell you now. So I asked her about how do you value yourself. From then on, I just deviated the talk, and thankfully, grateful to God that I could end that topic in such a way that she just kept quiet and she listened. I don't know whether she accepted what I said or not, but she just stopped that moment of argument and she just kept quiet and she listened. That's why I always say that mothers, wives, women, it's all in our hands. Because the word says, with the same hand, I can make and break. With these same hands, I can make my family, I can break as well. എനിക്ക് പണിയുവാനും കഴിയും, എനിക്ക് പൊളിക്കുവാനും കഴിയും. That is the strength of women. That is the power that we have. If you really look into your lives and relationship, you will understand that. With one word, you can change the atmosphere at your home. Don't you think so? When you sit at the table to have your food, with one word, you can change the whole situation, the whole environment. You can change it. You can change it either for positive things or either for negative things. That is the power of women. Just like salt, if you see, when you think about food, what comes to your mind first? If you're going to, for example, if you're going to cook biryani, if you're going to cook that, what is the first ingredient that you think of? Do you think of salt? No, right? But then without it, how it will be? That is the same role that you and I have. When world or society, when they talk or think about a family, they don't talk about the mother first. They don't talk about the wife first. But then, without you, they know that something is missing. When you eat, you say that, right? Yeah, it has that flavor, it has that aroma, but then that a biryani, when it is taken to the table, you say that, yeah, it has that flavor in it, but then you don't get the taste. It's just like that. If you're not strong, if you're not a strong spiritual woman, people can feel their emptiness at home. Then don't complain that your husband is an empty vessel or your children are empty. No. If they're empty, fill it. Don't talk about the negative outside. First, you begin with a prayer at home. Read the word, talk to them, fill those empty vessels. And I suggest you that if you can read it, go to your home when you get your Bibles. That chapter, the last chapter in the book of Proverbs, it clearly talks about that. How you can be a strong, noble woman. In both ways, financially, it talks about how her hands are helping, how her hands are so busy doing work, how she begins her day so early in the morning still, even that it's dark. She begins her day without complaining, without murmuring. And one more tip I will tell you to make every day so beautiful. Don't complain. Stop complaining. Stop murmuring. We know that we complain about so many things, right? Don't complain. Nothing will happen if you complain as well. Have you noticed that? Nothing. Then why should we waste our time on our words? Right? Keep quiet. Think about it. Should I say this now? Before you say everything. I remember at the beginning of my marriage, right after my marriage, because I'm from Toronto and my husband is from Kannur. Culture is so different. I was brought up in, I used to visit my parents here in Dubai. They are absolutely from typical Kannur, that, the typical Malayali Christian families and so on. I was like, oh my gosh. And each time when I talk to my mother, before I call, I say, the Lord, please help me. It's not because she's a negative woman. Thankfully, I really praise for my mother-in-law that she's a prayerful woman. She lost her daughter while she was 18. Still, she said, her eyes full of tears, she said, let his will be done. I will not say anything against it. I learned that strong lesson from, oh my God, a mother who lost her daughter was 18 years old. Still, she said, let his will be done. It shows her character, her prayerful life. But then still, we are different. Each. Different. So it doesn't mean that every time we have to accept it. So I said, Lord, I'm going to talk to her. I don't want to hurt her. I don't want her also to hurt me when I talk. I want to respect her. Because the generation of mine, we don't think, especially me personally, I speak straightforward. I don't know how to act. I don't pretend. So if I don't like something, I say that I don't like. This is wrong. But then in our place, especially in Kerala, it's different, isn't it? Even husband it's fine. But within, he say that, oh damn, I don't like it. Right? So I don't do it. I say that, why should I act? Why should I act? If something I don't like, I say that I don't like it. But how to say that? That's where you have the problem, right? So I said, Lord, please help me. I'm going to talk to my mother-in-law. She should understand what I say. And I should understand what she says, because she represents another generation and I represent another generation. And I want her to, and you know what? God taught me how to make her understand. I speak to her and I sit with her. And when we pray together, we have a lot of disagreements. But what I do is, we sit together and pray for her long life and health. I honestly desire that. And I want her to know as well that I want her to happen, that she should live a long, healthy life. See, you have to make conscious effort to make things positive at home. Making complaints or murmurings and saying this and that will not work at all. You look at empty vessels at home, start with a prayer and fill it. You don't need to do anything. You don't need to do anything. God has done it all, everything on the cross. Okay, that's why he said that it is finished. It is finished. He did everything for us. Only what we need to do is that act on it. It is finished on the cross. So that's why there is a, as I'm going to finish my talk, I encourage you to join with me in prayer. I'm going to pray for all of you. At the same time, there is a beautiful song. It's a hymn song. If you can think of the lyrics. And what I encourage you to do is that pray in your hearts, whatever prayer request that you have. നിങ്ങളുടെ ഹസ്ബൻഡിനെ കുറിച്ചുള്ള ഒരു പ്രെയർ റിക്വസ്റ്റ് ആയിരിക്കാം, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ നിങ്ങളുടെ വീട്ടിൽ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ആരോടും പറയാൻ പറ്റാത്ത ഒരു ഇഷ്യൂ ആയിരിക്കാം, നിങ്ങളുടെ കുഞ്ഞുങ്ങളെ കുറിച്ചോ, നിങ്ങളുടെ ഫിനാൻഷ്യൽ, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ നിങ്ങളുടെ സിക്നസ്. There are so many things. There are certain things that you cannot share with anyone, not even with your husband. We say that silent cries, but God can hear that silent cries as well. But you need to find time. There's a silent cry of women, right? A silent cry. You cry with them. Outside you are very strong. People talk about you as a strong woman, but then you cry with them. നിങ്ങളുടെ ഉള്ളിലാണ് നിങ്ങൾ കരയുന്നത്, നിങ്ങൾ പുറത്ത് കാണിക്കുന്നില്ല. But God hears that as well. God sees. Women, you are heard, you are seen, you are loved by God. Because God created with you with that purpose. So I encourage you, as I'm going to pray for you, I pray that, please pray that in your heart. Think about the lyrics of this is a beautiful song. I'm not a singer, but I love the lyrics. I'm always touched by the strong lyrics of the words. What I do is, even, something I'll tell you, if you do not know how to sing, no problem. What you can do is, take Book of Psalms. We have in the Bible Book of Psalms. Sing it in your own way. Just like Mother Mary did. You read it in Luke chapter 2. She sings. She says that, my soul sings and rejoices in the Lord. And she sings. The Bible never said that she was a singer. I'm not a singer. We are not all singers, but then we can talk to our Lord. That Lord help me to find out the purpose. Today, the world celebrates and we commemorate this day as Women's Day. So what am I supposed to do on this day? I need to ask myself that, who am I? What is my purpose? What I should do at my home? There are things that are empty. There are certain issues that I can't share with anyone. I do not know, there are certain things, how it would be, how my tomorrow would be. Say everything to the Lord. Yeah. I give you 2 minutes for you that as I talk to God. Whether if you believe in prayer or not, I believe in prayer because I believe in His word. So I give you 2 minutes as we end. Either close your eyes or open your eyes. But in your heart, talk to God about those certain things and decisions that don't, Lord, let me not speak negative things. Let me not complain about my family. Let me not murmur about the things that I don't have. Let me be happy with the things that I have. So talk to God while I talk to God. Before the world began, you were on His mind, and every tear you cry is precious in His sight. Because of His great love, He sent His only Son. Everything was done so you would come. The song says, you don't need to do anything. But then God has done everything. Only you need to do is look to Him. Look at the cross. There is nothing you can do now at this state. There is nothing you can do. Only just go to the cross and humble yourself and speak to Him that, Lord, please help me so that I'll be able to do. Father, I come to you. And thank you for this wonderful presence in this place. And I pray and I stand on behalf of this wonderful women. Lord, I pray that, please speak to their hearts and help them to know that you have created them and you love them so much and you love them so deeply. And I pray that the Holy Spirit speak to their hearts so they will realize the word and the value of their lives. And they will come to you for every need of their lives. And help them not to complain. Help them not to murmur. Help them not to be so naggy about what they don't have in their lives. And I pray that, Master Lord, please help them to love you. And help them to lead their life, beginning with your word, your spirit, that they will know what to do and they will know what decision they need to make in their life. Thank you so much for listening to our prayers. Thank you so much for understanding the motive of every word that we speak. And thank you so much for this wonderful time and wonderful presence of these people. I bless them in your name. I bless this community. I bless this group of women in your name, that, Lord, help them to know you very intimately so that they would love you. Thank you for listening to our prayers. Amen. And you too. Thank you.